In this world, spirits can form contracts with pure maidens known as elementalers. In this academy, young girls from noble families train to become elementalers. However, no men are allowed in this academy. All of this changes when Kamito Kazehaya is invited to the academy by the headmaster. He loses his way and somehow stumbles upon a maiden bathing in a river. She attacks him, rightly so, with a spirit fire attack. The girl turns out to be Claire Rouge, a spirit elementaler. When attacking him, she accidentally drops a tree on herself. Kamito saves her, but she attacks him again, which causes him to pass out. He wakes up, restrained by her. He explains why he's here. When Kamito asks what she's doing here, Claire tells him that she was preparing for a spirit contracting ceremony with the Demon Slayer, a concealed sword that no one has successfully contracted with. Even though Claire already has contracted with a fire spirit, she desires more power and thus begins the ceremony, but the concealed spirit goes out of control. Kamito comes to the rescue and forms a contract with the spirit. He passes out. When he wakes up, he sees that the spirit has fully bonded with him. This makes Claire upset as she wanted the spirit for herself. Kamito finally heads out to meet the headmaster, but is attacked by Ellis Farngard at the doorstep, another maiden at the academy. It turns out that Kamito is looking for a spirit by the name of Restia, and the headmaster is helping him. In exchange for information regarding the location of the spirit, she has him transferred to the academy. She also forces him to participate in the upcoming blade dance competition. Kamito makes his way to the class where the girls have taken a liking to him since he's the only male spirit elementaler in 1,000 years, after the demon lord Suleiman. Claire declares to everyone that Kamito and her are in a relationship, much to his dismay. Kamito also runs into Rinslet Lorenfrost, an elementaler at the academy. The upcoming Blade Dance tournament will be held as an offering to the 5 Spirit Lords. Princesses from different countries will be competing against each other for victory. As Kamito is resting in his quarter next to the horse stable, Rinslet brings him some food but asks him to become her servant in exchange. He refuses, but she keeps insisting. As this is happening, Claire comes looking for Kamito and starts a fight over Kamito. Their fight soon turns into a battle of spirits, and they both summon their concealed spirits. Their fight is broken up by Ellis Farngard, who starts to ridicule the two. She calls Claire the sister of a traitor, which shocks Kamito. An agitated Claire challenges Ellis and her underlings to a duel. Rinslet also demands a duel for disrespecting her family. Ellis gives them some time and demands that Kamito join the duel as well to make the match even. Claire invites Kamito to her dormitory and goes to shower as he prepares food for himself. After having their dinner, they make their way to the place of the duel. Since the arena is enchanted, the duel won't cause physical damage to the participants. The match begins and Ellis summons her spirit. Kamito summons his sword spirit, but for some reason, the size of his sword is no more than that of a kitchen knife. As Kamito is having a hard time finding the Ellis' underlings, Rinslet helps him. However, Rinslet is attacked by Ellis' spirit. While the other underling is taken care of, Kamito makes his way to Ellis. As Ellis is preparing to strike him, they're all taken aback by a strange black cloud that spawns a demon spirit. Claire, in her quest for power, tries to make a contract with the demon spirit. Since the demon spirit is way too strong, Claire is having a hard time taming it. The spirit knocks her down as Kamito decides to step in. As the demon spirit is about to swallow Claire, her contracted spirit, Scarlet, sacrifices itself to save her. Kamito is able to channel his spirit in its strongest form and cuts the demon in half. As the rain pours, Claire mourns the loss of Scarlet. She's overcome with grief and blames herself for being weak. Kamito passes out due to the spirit taking too much energy. As he passed out, he has a flashback of his past as a kid who was forced to learn magic. As he wakes up, he finds a girl in his bed who introduces herself as Est, since her name can't be pronounced by humans. She calls Kamito her master. Kamito is forced to hide her as Rinslet comes to check up on Kamito. The girl hides herself in the blanket. Rinslet notices the bump in the blanket and removes the blanket. Rinslet gets the wrong idea and summons her spirit to attack them. Her spirit dog is easily stopped by the girl who introduces herself as the Demon Slayer, the spirit that Kamito made a contract with. As they're talking, the spirit tells Kamito that she formed a contract with him because she found him similar to her. They run into Ellis, who apologizes to Kamito for her rude behavior. They deduce that Claire is probably at the spirit contracting ceremony for military spirits. To apply, one must participate in a battle. Since Claire no longer has a spirit, she won't survive. Kamito heads out to stop Claire. It's revealed that 4 years ago, Claire's sister, Rubia Elstein, stole the strongest flame spirit and disappeared. In anger, the Fire Spirit King burned the lands of the Ordacia Empire. Claire's quest for more power is motivated by her desire to ask her sister why she did all that. She's having a hard time fighting her opponent with her spirit gone. As she's losing, she channels a dark spirit in the form of a black cat given to her by Restia. The dark spirit causes all the other spirits to go berserk. Everyone has to evacuate the arena. Kamito's spirit tells Kamito that the black cat is none other than Scarlet that joined the dark side. S transforms herself into the Holy Sword as Kamito charges at the Black Beast. He temporarily stuns the beast and tells Claire to stop her pursuit of power. He explains to her that she's not alone. The Black Beast attacks them again, and Kamito tries to hold it as Claire burns the seal on her hand. This stuns the beast, and Kamito uses the opportunity to free Scarlet from the dark energy. As Kamito and Claire are talking, Restia shows up. Kamito is shocked to see her. She spawns a demon before flying away. Kamito and Claire are forced to retreat. Claire asks about Restia, and Kamito reveals that Restia was his contracted spirit. Kamito is distracted by all this, so Claire kisses him to snap him out of it. They make their way back to the arena to defeat the evil spirit. With his sword, Kamito slices the demon in half. Kamito's movements remind Claire of a very accomplished blade dancer, Ren Ashbel. Kamito passes out and wakes up to find Est beside him, which agitates Claire when she visits him. Kamito has a flashback where he saved a girl from evil spirits. It's also revealed that Ren Ashbel was Kamito all along, who was pretending to be a girl. That girl looked up to Ren and wanted an explanation from Kamito. Kamito says that he has a wish that he wants to come true. The girl promises to keep the secret. Back to the present, the girl is transferred to the academy. Meanwhile, the blade dance battle is about to begin in 2 months. Since the tournament will be fought in teams, the teacher tells the students to form teams. Even though every team has 5 people max, Kamito and Claire are the only ones in their team. The team battle is about to begin, and only the top 3 teams will be able to join the blade dance tournament. Claire and Kamito receive a low ranking due to their bad performance in the team battle. As Claire and Kamito are having lunch, Rinslet joins them and tells them about the new transfer student. They then talk about them not having enough team members. Kamito understands that Rinslet wants to join their team, but is too prideful to ask. A girl calls Kamito and says that the headmaster needs to see them. She introduces him to the girl from before, but Kamito doesn't recognize her. The headmaster tells Kamito that she's Fina Ray, the second crown prince of Ordacia. Meanwhile, Restia is seen scheming with this emo dude. Fina Ray describes herself as a lost queen after the betrayal of Claire's sister, Rubia. She was picked to be her successor, but she chose to step down from that position. As a result, she was erased from the noble family. The headmaster assigns the task of protecting the princess to Kamito. If he successfully completes the mission, his team rankings will go up. She tells Kamito to investigate the spirit mining town of Gad, which has lately been experiencing earthquakes. The headmaster says that a rogue military spirit can be behind the earthquakes. Kamito's job is to seal off that spirit if he finds one. Meanwhile, Restia's presence is noticed by the headmaster. As Kamito and Fina are walking, she calls him Ren Ashbel and tries to remind him of the time when he saved her, but he doesn't remember. Kamito gets Fiona to stay at Claire's room. When Fiona sees the relationship between Kamito and Claire, she gets jealous and challenges Claire to a duel. If Claire wins, Fiona will leave the room. Fiona insists that their duel will be a cooking one. Claire overcooks her food, thus turning it into a black mass, while Fiona cooks a royal delicacy and wins the match. Meanwhile, the mysterious emo boy in a black cloak infiltrates the academy and knocks down Ellis's underlings. Kamito and girls come to the aid as he's about to kill Ellis. He has stolen sealed documents from the library and escapes with them. Kamito and Claire run after him. Elise warns him that the enemy is carrying 2 spirits. Kamito confronts the boy but unleashes his 3rd spirit. The boy introduces himself as Gio Inzaghi, the successor to the ancient demon lord, Solomon. As he's about to fatally attack Kamito, Fiona comes to his aid. Gio attacks her, but Kamito takes the blow and injures himself in the process. Gio escapes. As Fiona recovers, Kamito comes to check up on her. He's forced to escape with Fiona when Claire gets jealous and threatens to burn them. With Claire out of his hair, Kamito asks Fiona why she knows about his secret. Fiona tries to remind him of what happened some years ago by giving him hints. He finally recognizes her as the girl he saved back then. Fiona's relieved and confesses her love for him. Fiona also tells him to form a team with her as it'll increase her chances of winning the blade dance competition. After that, Kamito and his team head out to the mining town to investigate the earthquakes. They begin exploring the site for clues. After noticing the rubble and signs on the walls, they deduce that a ceremony has been performed in the site recently. They hear loud sounds of fighting and follow the source of the sound. They see Gio decimating Ellis in a fight. Kamito comes to the rescue, but Gio summons a smoke spirit that asphyxiates Kamito and his team. Ellis attacks with a wind attack that distracts Gio. Kamito brings out his sword to square off with Gio. Gio attacks with his own sword spirit Gladius. Kamito gains the upper hand and shatters Gladius. However, Gio has multiple spirits in his command, so he summons another sword. In the process, Rinslet and Claire are badly injured. Gio launches a projectile attack at Fiona, which Kamito blocks. However, he's hurt in the process and his sword shrinks due to him using too much energy. Gio prepares to summon his strongest spirit, Thanatos, given to him by Restia. Fiona steps forward and uses a bloodstone to summon a spirit to battle Gio. She launches an attack which causes a large explosion. Gio escapes amidst the explosion. Kamito asks why she carries that with her. Fiona reveals that she lost her contracted spirit 4 years ago. Since then, she has used spirit stones to get by in school exams. She wants to win the blade dance so she can wish for her contracted spirit to be given back to her. They sense some rumbling in the ground, which tells them that the military spirit within the area has been awakened. S tells Kamito that she knows where the altar of the spirit is. S guides them towards the altar. They finally reach the altar and decide to do a spirit dance to seal the spirit. But before they can do that, the ladies need to purify themselves by taking a bath in the lake. Because, of course. As Kamito waits outside, Gio comes back for round 2. As they battle, Kamito realizes that all the spirits Gio is using are actually one-time concealed spirits, just like the stones Fiona is using. He hasn't tamed any of them. This angers Gio, who charges forward but is countered. In anger, he uses a dark spirit on Est. He uses this distraction to stab Kamito. As he's preparing to deliver a fatal attack, the team attacks him from behind. Fiona performs a dance to seal the spirit, which begins to influence all the spirits trapped inside Gio's body. With Gio defeated, Restia shows up again. Kamito asks her why she's doing all that. Restia tells him that he will meet the woman behind everything soon. Gio gets up and begs Restia to give him power. Restia does out of pity, and Gio uses the spirit to immediately attack Kamito. To protect Kamito, Fiona summons the spirit of a holy knight. Together, they defeat him and give him to the military. The festival of Valentina is near, where everyone offers baked treats to their spirits and chocolates to their crushes. Claire and Fiona make stuff for Kamito and tell him to eat it. Meanwhile, the headmaster orders the knight to tighten the security since some merchants are infiltrating the academy and trying to sell cursed spirits to students before the blade dance. She also prepares for the arrival of Vesselria Eva, a veteran blade dancer. The team faces off against their opponents in a team battle to compete for participation in the blade dance. Their team wins 3 battles in a row and thus improves its rankings. To celebrate their victory, Rinslet offers to treat them to lunch. However, Kamito delays it since he has to take a class. In the class, Kamito runs into Ellis. He helps her with her studies, which makes her flustered, so she asks him to tutor her. Kamito tells her to meet him at 5 in the garden. Later, when the team is walking, Claire stops at a jewelry shop. Rinslet tells him that tomorrow is Claire's birthday. Later, they have their lunch, but they don't know that the waitress is someone else in disguise. Kamito asks Ellis for studies, but she insists that they study in her room. Ellis shows up wearing a maid costume and says that she wants to repay Kamito for what he's done for the academy. She treats him with some food. She says that she can't invite him to her room often since her older sister, Valseria, is coming back to the school. She then asks Kamito to join Sylphid, the night guards of the academy, since the majority of the members are injured. Kamito ends up reluctantly accepting the offer as she promises some compensation. He asks her to give him the compensation in advance. Claire is furious to learn that he joined the Sylphid and kicks Kamito out. As she cries in bed, she is consoled by Fiona. Kamito sleeps outside and is woken up by Est. Kamito goes back to class where he runs into Valsera, who berates her sister and her knights by calling her pawns. She's confronted by Kamito, but she attacks him, which causes a lot of collateral damage to the room. She picks 4 girls and forms her team before leaving. Kamito helps Ellis in her night tasks. Kamito later tries to make up with Claire, but she refuses. The elf waitress from earlier shows up and sells illegal spirits to 2 girls in the academy. Kamito and Ellis go out to buy some clothes together. He asks why she wanted to be a knight. Ellis tells him that her sister, Valsera, inspired her to work harder and become a knight, but her sister started a quest of power after being defeated by Ren Ashbel. This corrupted her mind and made her evil. Kamito decides to buy a present for Claire using the compensation he got. Meanwhile, the elf waitress from before tries to sell illegal products to Claire. She refuses to buy, but the 2 girls from before appear, completely under the spell after buying the cursed seals. They spawn a huge demon. Ellis and Kamito run into a monster attacking the civilians. Kamito is injured while saving the girl. As Ellis and Kamito fight the monster, Claire runs into them and alerts them about the other monster. The monsters are blown up by Valsera's spirit, though this causes a lot of collateral damage. They call her out on this, but she doubles down on her actions. Kamito is injured and thus has to rest. When Claire comes to visit him, he hands her a birthday gift, which rejuvenates their relationship. Rinslet tells them that they're up against Velsaria in the blade dance battle. Claire gets Ellis to join their team as well after promising to take down Velsaria. Meanwhile, the elf from before talks to Velsaria regarding the spirit she possesses. It turns out that in exchange for power, Velsaria put a cursed seal on her heart, which is slowly corroding her heart. This will result in her death in a few years. Due to his injuries, Kamito decided to watch the girls prepare for battle. The blade dance battle begins and Velsaria takes on everyone by herself. She blasts them immediately but is frozen by Rinslet's freezing arrows. Velsaria breaks herself free and charges straight at them. Fiona deploys her knight to hold off Velsaria as everyone summons their spirits to attack her. Despite the team effort, Velsaria is way too tough to go down easily. With their extreme fire and ice attacks, Claire and Rinslet manage to break through the armor. With Ellis's final wind attack, Velsaria is blown to bits. However, Velsaria's spirit goes out of control and petrifies everyone nearby. Velsaria's spirit begins absorbing energy from the girls. Kamito decides to jump in. He cuts everyone free and starts attacking Velsaria's dark spirit. However, nothing happens to the dark spirit. Fiona uses her spirit magic to transfer her energy to Kamito, which heals his wounds. Motivated by Fiona's sacrifice, everyone begins attacking Velsaria's spirit. Kamito delivers the final blow and cuts Velsaria from her dark spirit. She passes out. Meanwhile, the headmaster finds the elf and recognizes her as an old student of hers. She punishes her by feeding her to demons. Brutal. With the cursed seal in the heart of Velsaria removed, she can now see what she's become, and tells Kamito to take care of Ellis before being taken away. With everyone's spirits rejuvenated, they prepare for their next blade dance. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.